civilization's facing a collapse. We're destroying the planet, we're pillaging it, we're polluting it. You can't fix the current civilization because it's corrupt at the bottom. How soon? Science gives us 10, 20 years.
So in 10 to 20 years, you think what, the world is going to collapse or civilization?
Good question.
He's a cell biologist, a former medical school professor, and he's a best-selling author, studying 3 sciences Darwin never had. Please welcome Dr. Bruce Lipton.
A garden is not a battleground. We evolved from a garden. Every organism, insect, animals, plants in a garden make a garden.
Wow.
The subconscious controls muscles because it's that powerful. When the subconscious is not in harmony, the power of muscle control is lost.
How much effect does negative thinking have on our life?
A positive thought will activate a positive response. A negative thought only resonates with a negative response.
What is the number one belief that most people carry with them that is killing or suppressing their immune system? Welcome back, everyone, to the School of Greatness. Very excited about our guests. We have the one and only Bruce Lipton back in the house. Good to see you, sir.
I am so honored to be here with you, Louis, and I also want to say thank you for this opportunity to talk to this audience, because we have a message of hope.
Yes, and that's the first question I have for you. I think when you look at everything happening in the world right now, most people are living in fear, stress, uncertainty, and feeling like they have no hope of the future because it just feels like every system around them is rigged against them. Do you believe in that belief, or what do you think about that?
It's very exciting because if you can get some distance and look back at what's going on, we are in the right place at the right time. You go, this is crazy. I go, yeah. And the whole idea is we're living in a unsustainable civilization, meaning today it takes 1.6 planet Earth resources for today's civilization. Math is simple. Subtract the 1 Earth we have, where's the 0.6 resources coming from? And the answer is we're undermining the ecosystem. We're destroying the planet. We're pillaging it. We're polluting it. And people don't recognize the concept of a garden. We evolved from a garden. And a garden, I love it because a garden is the height of cooperation. Every organism, insects, animals, plants in a garden make a garden. A garden is not a battleground. And all of a sudden they say, well, wait, we've turned this garden into a battleground. I go, this is self-destruction. And then I go, yeah, but this is really bad. I go, the idea is we must change the way we are living on this planet and how we relate to each other, okay? Which means civilization is facing a collapse. And the significance is very profound, very basic for a reason. It's just, we're not sustainable. And I say, well, then that's the science. You can't do this. And you can't fix the current civilization because it's corrupt at the bottom. So science has recognized the only way out is for the civilization that we're in is to collapse so we can build a sustainable civilization from the ground up. And so when you see it in chaos as it is, it's like, that's a good sign. Why? Because we don't have that much more future before we really hit the wall. And that the collapse is a sign that when it falls, it doesn't mean we die. It just means we have to transform into another way of life. And the future way of life is going to be beautiful. It's based on love. It's based on harmony. It's based on community. The things that we're missing in today's world are fundamental to the future civilization. How soon? Science gives us 10, 20 years irreversible collapse.
Really?
Yes, absolute irreversible collapse.
So in 10 to 20 years, you think what, the world is going to collapse or civilization?
Civilization is going to collapse. And that's what I was trying to say. That doesn't mean we all die. That means reform and create a civilization. And it's beginning right now. It's beginning because we have to come into a concept called community. And we're not living in community. People are antagonistic to each other, and there's walls and all kinds of problems at that level. The resolution is we're all part of one living organism. Each of us is a cell in the body of a global organism called humanity. And we have to recognize the health problems that we're facing, most of them are called autoimmune disease. That translates as self-destruction. Our cells are killing each other. I go, it's not a coincidence that what's happening in the environment is occurring within our environment. The chaos of this world is manifesting the chaos of the inside. And if you understand where we are, you can get out of the chaos. You can live among the crazy people, but not become one of the crazy people.
Wow. So our body is a cell in the greater body of humanity,
Yeah.
I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
How many of the people in the world right now do you believe are sick internally in some way? They have some type of sickness or disease that is blocking them from reaching their fullest potential as a human being.
More than 50%.
Really?
Yeah. It shows up in so many different ways. I mean, people out on their back in a hospital, or people dragging themselves to the job in the morning. If you're dragging yourself, there's resistance. That's what it's all about.
What do you think is the number one cause of people becoming more sick? Is it how they perceive the world around them? Is it their physical environment? Is it their lifestyle choices?
ABC.
Is it the people they hang out with? Is it?
Every one of those things is a factor. The most important factor is to recognize that the commonality of disease. Everyone says, oh, genes are caused, oh, my genes gave me cancer or something. I love to say this, right? There's not one gene that causes cancer.
Really?
There is no such thing as a gene that causes cancer.
Why do so many medical doctors say that this is a genetic trait, that you're going to receive this if your grandfather or great-grandfather had cancer, then you're going to get it, or if they had Alzheimer's, you're going to have the gene?
Yeah, I know. That scares the hell out of you because it makes you a victim. Because we bought the belief genes control our character. And then we teach them, oh, genes turn on and off by themselves. And all of a sudden we realize, oh my God, my genes are going to ruin my life and I can't do anything, which makes us victims. And that's the destination for the corporation. Why? If you're a victim, you will pay anything to not be that victim. More than 60% of bankruptcies in the U.S., healthcare, the bills from healthcare.
Wow.
People losing their entire money from their whole life to pay a hospital bill because they're exorbitant. People, I forgot what the number is, the highest number of people in the U.S. at this moment cannot even afford to go to an emergency room. They don't have enough money to visit an emergency room, $500. How many people don't have $500 in their pocket? And that's just a majority of these people. And the stress level stress is the cause of that disease issue. But as you said, well, stress from what? Stress from the job. Stress from the food that's not helping us, okay? Stress from the fear of I can't make it. All of those are stress. That's why when it starts to make a list, I go, yeah, that makes stress. Yeah, that makes stress. And people think genes, I go, fact of science, less than, again here, 1%, less than 1% of disease is even connected to genes.
Really?
99% plus of disease has nothing to do with the genes. And yet you're programmed to believe it, because if you believe it, then you have given up your power, because I can't control my genes. The pharmaceutical company will help me. Listen, I was a professor in a medical school, okay? So I'm very familiar with some of the politics, okay? And the significance is this, that, and what I'm going to say is a fact of science published in the Journal of the American Medical Association and the British Medical Journal. Both of these research articles, medicine, the practice of medicine, is the third leading cause of death on this planet. Currently, heart disease is number one, cancer is number two, and then the third one has a Latin name, iatrogenic illness. I go, what the hell is that? I go, medicine's like the church. We put it in Latin. You have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Iatrogenic illness, definition, illness as a result of medical treatment.
Is it medical treatment or medical malpractice? Is it like it's
Well,
all
medical malpractice, if they practice medicine to what they were taught, that would be malpractice. Why? The whole idea of genes, that idea in the last few years has to be thrown out. Why? Genes do not control anything. They do not control themselves. Genes are blueprints to make the parts of the body. I said, what? I said, it's a blueprint. I go, what do you mean? I go, a blueprint can't turn itself on, but a blueprint needs an architect. Aha, someone who reads and adjusts the blueprint. Aha, the mind controls the reading of the genes.
Really?
Cancer is caused by disharmony in the system, taking a cell that has no cancer gene and manifesting cancer.
So how do we navigate our minds to turn off illness and disease in our body?
The first thing is you have to let go of this outer view of the world because you are being fed fear. Watch the news, okay? As I say, surf the web, watch the news, look out your window. The whole thing is going upside down. I say, well, if you participate, if you're holding on to the old or the current system and you're in fear, like, oh my God, my job, blah, 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 that's the stress. And the whole idea is you have to step outside. It's very hard for a lot of people. Listen, I was a tenured professor in a medical school. I said, what does that mean? That's a job for life. Once you get tenure, they can't fire you, okay? I had a job for life, but I walked out.
Why?
Because I said what I was teaching was wrong in the medical school, and I was ahead of the curve, but I can't change the curriculum. And here you ready? It's run by the pharmaceutical industry. And I say, why is it important? Medical school does not teach any form of healing other than the ones that require medicine.
Wow.
If I could heal myself without medicine, it's not covered in medical school. Why? It's a business. Why should I give it away free? So, watch the news. I don't watch TV very much, but when I see a show, and every 15 minutes, it used to be one farm ad. Now it's 2 farm ads.
At least.
And why is that? It's a mechanism of manipulation. Put the fear in, and if you're afraid, you will buy it. That's the name of the game.
You talk about programming a lot, and you said that 70% of the programs downloaded in the first 7 years of our life are negative, disempowering, or self-sabotaging.
Yes.
Does that mean that most of us are working against ourselves by default?
Yeah, but see, people, you have to make a connection here. I say, first of all, I just said epigenetics, the mind is the architect. Then I say the mind, and it sounds like, oh, there's a mind. I go, that's already the problem. I go, why? There are 2 minds, each with a different function, but they're interdependent. They work together or against each other, okay? I say, well, what are the conscious mind, the latest evolution of the brain, it's right behind your forehead, right here, is the creative mind. It's the mind as connected to spirit And just to emphasize it for perhaps later, spirit is not a New Age concept or just a religious concept. It's a quantum physics biological concept. It's a science. So, okay, so the whole idea is your conscious mind, creative, spirit, wishes and desires. Okay, that's the drive. The subconscious mind is a hard drive with programs. I go, why? Well, first of all, the brain is not like a computer. The brain is a computer. I go, so what? I said, well, in the old days, you buy a computer, it didn't come with a program. And you buy a brand new computer and you get it home. I got a new, oh wow, plug it in, yeah. Start, boot up. Oh, it's booting up. Do something. I can't.
There's no program.
No program. You cannot use it until you get a program. The first 7 years of a child's life, the brain is not functioning at the level of consciousness. There are levels of brain vibration, okay? The lowest level is called delta, unconscious, sleep.
Delta.
Delta. The next higher vibration is called theta, okay? I'm going to come back.
Yep.
Then the next higher vibration is called alpha. That's where consciousness begins. And then hopefully those watching the show are at the next level called beta, which is focused consciousness, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I say, so what's unique about theta? Theta, characteristic, imagination. And that's how children mix the real world and the imaginary world into one. They ride that broom. It's not a broom. It's a horse.
Right.
Huh? Okay? They have that tea party. Pour nothing into the cup. Drink nothing. That was the best damn tea I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
See, so imagination, imaginary friends, part of under 7. But the point is theta is hypnosis. I go, relevance. You need the programs of how to be a member of a family. There are programs to be part of a community. There are things you can do and things you can't do. How do you know? An infant can't read a book. Nature gave the first 7 years hypnosis. Observe. Watch your mother, watch your father, watch your community. All you have to do is watch, and they will download the behavior of what's it like to be a parent? What's it like to live in this community? And now we have this program. I got it from watching, okay?
My environment.
Yeah, from my environment. Now comes the problem. Okay, so we have the creative mind, the subconscious, conscious creative, subconscious habitual, habits. Now, it's not necessarily bad. You learned how to walk when you were an infant. It's a habit. You don't even have to think about it. So it's a great mind, because if you didn't have that, every day you would wake up and go, oh, I have to learn how to walk. I go, no, you got a program. You're driving the car. You taught it subconscious how to drive the car. I can tell you right now, most of the time you're driving your car, you're not even conscious.
No.
The subconscious is driving it. Why? And here's a problem. Thank you for letting me get to the problem. And here it is. The conscious mind can do 2 things. Consider your body as a vehicle. And the conscious mind is looking through the windshield. And when the conscious mind is in control, is looking through the windshield, it's driving you to wishes and desires. Okay? But that's because it's looking out. But thinking is looking in. A thought is not outside. So the moment you have a thought, your conscious mind is redirected inside. Well, it's not looking out. What if you're in that car and you're driving and you say, well, when I get to the store, I'm going to buy this and that. I say, you're not paying attention, because you're thinking about what you're going to do. I say, yeah, but the car is going great. I go, this is the conclusion of it. The subconscious is autopilot. I say, for how much? And here is the problem. 95% of the day is average thinking time. That means 95% of the day You're not coming from wishes and desires.
It's autopilot?
What's that? Autopilot. 95%
Is autopilot. Every day.
autopilot.
And you're not even consciously thinking.
Well, because you're thinking, you're not looking.
Mm.
And so if you're thinking, you're not looking at the road, but the subconscious steps in. It knows how to drive the car.
It knows how to walk. It knows how to talk.
It knows anything you taught it. Play an instrument, do a job. And so I go, but here, now we got to an issue. 95% of your life is not even coming from wishes and desires. It's coming from the program. I go, and you, as the player of this program, is the only one who cannot see it.
You can't see it when you're the player.
Can't see it when you. Why? The whole point was conscious is not looking out. So as the program is playing, you're the one that can't see it. I always use this story. You have a friend, you know your friend's behavior very well, and you know your friend's parent. One day you see your friend has the exact same behavior as the parent, so you offer him, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. I can tell you right now, back away from Bill. And you already know why, because I can tell you what he's going to say. He's going to say, how can you compare me to my dad? I'm nothing like my dad. I go, everybody in the world sees him being like his dad. The only one who can't see it is Bill. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we are all Bill. Every day, we're playing these programs. Life isn't working out the way of wishes and desires. And then, because you can't see you're involved, you can't see I'm participating, but you see those people, and then you say, well, that person got in the way, and this person created a problem, and that person, I'm a victim.
Mm-hmm.
I go, ha, you were setting off the program. They were responding to your program. And then you look at yourself as a victim. I say, you are a creator. You are creating your life experience. If I can end it, because I really want to get to your question, a simple ending but profound. Most people are familiar with the movie The Matrix. I go, it's listed as science fiction. I go, it's not science fiction, it's a documentary. What do you mean? What is the premise? Everybody's been programmed. I go, that's a scientific reality. We're all programmed through age 7. That's real. But the best part is, if you take that red pill, you can get out of the program. I go, and most everybody in this audience right now has taken that red pill at least once. And I go, what was it? Falling in love. I go, why is that the red pill? And the answer from science is simple. When you fall in love, you stop thinking. You stay present. You stay mindful. What? You've been waiting your whole life for this experience. It's not time to think. It's time to be here now. So guess what? You stop thinking. Then what? Where's life coming from? Conscious, creative wishes and desires. And what did you create? The honeymoon. I said, what's the honeymoon? Heaven on earth. I say, does it exist? I say, it's there all the time.
Yeah.
You're the one that's not playing in it because you're Bill and you are sabotaging yourself with these negative programs. My father and mother had a dysfunctional relationship. I'm downloading my father's behavior. Unconsciously, hypnotherapy under age 7. For 40 years of my life, I could not get a relationship. Why? Because I start off a relationship, red pill. I'm the boy you want to be with. And then shortly, the program of my father would start to come because I start thinking, job, responsibilities, things I have to do. I start thinking. And all of a sudden, that program that I downloaded from my father shows up. But guess what? My partner has never seen these programs. Why? I stopped playing the program. I fell in love. But when they start showing up, it's a shock. The shock, who are you? Where did that come from? And they're going like, what are you talking about? Why? Because you don't see your own behavior.
This starts to shift over time.
No.
The program comes out when there's...
the program comes out when you're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. and you don't see it. So my partner looks at me and is like, I've never played this program because I wasn't thinking.
You're in love.
And then
you started thinking, oh, now we've been together for a year or two. Now I got to go to the next step. And now it's got to be responsibilities. And now I got to be serious. And
50% of marriages fall apart. Why? The person they married was not the subconscious. They married the conscious element, the spiritual element. But who shows up? The program. And if the program's negative, 70% or more, inevitably this is a monkey wrench in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know those moments when you're ordering everything to your house, from groceries, gear, random things you didn't even realize you needed until the last minute? It just makes life a little easier. And now you can add internet to that list. Get same-day delivery for T-Mobile 5G home internet powered by DoorDash. No store visits, no waiting around for a technician. It shows up, you plug it in, and you're online in about 15 minutes with one cord. T-Mobile has the fastest 5G home internet. Work or stream a favorite show with fewer interruptions. For me, working from home on the podcast, that simplicity matters a lot. I'm on video calls, uploading episodes, researching guests, and sending emails. And when everything just works and I don't have to think about it, I stay focused on what actually matters. It fits right into my workflow and it keeps things moving throughout the day. Visit t-mobile.com/home internet to check availability and get your home internet delivered today. Same-day delivery for most internet eligible customers. See if it's an option during checkout. Fastest according to Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data, second half 2025, all rights reserved. Wow. Okay, this is fascinating. So if someone has a desire, a wish, or a dream,
yes,
and they've fallen in love with this idea,
yes,
this creative mind, if I want to have this experience or adventure or life or relationship or whatever it might be, but then something happens and they hit a wall over and over and over again. Why are they hitting that wall? And what does it take for them to overcome that so they can fulfill the dream, the wish, or the desire?
I'm going to give you a number that is very significant, and that is over 80% of the population will not test positive for the belief I love myself. I go, 80% of people, they can't love themselves. I said, well, this is a problem. Because if someone says they love you and you look at them and go, oh, you obviously have no quality control. I know I'm not lovable. And then you'll push them away. And then when they're gone, you go, see, I'm not lovable. The point about it is simply that it comes from parenting and programming in after 7 years. I go, where is the crux of the problem? And here it is, straight up. And you have two young
girls.
So
give me the advice. What do I need to do to show up in a way for the first 7 years so my kids have a programming that they believe they can love themselves and create what they want?
It's very simple, but here's the problem, okay? Number one, parents act like the coach of a sports team. If the kid isn't doing well, they'll become the coach. I say, let's go to an older child on a team. They're not performing well. The coach doesn't go, oh, please do better. No, that's not good enough. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve to be on this team. Criticize. Because an older child will go, oh, I'm not working hard enough. I'll do better. When the parent acts as that coach and the kid's under 7, they're not conscious. They're recording. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not deserving. If the parents say those things, the child's just downloading at that time. And that becomes a program. And I say that operate from a program not deserving after age 7. I'm now 30, 40 years old. I'm working on a job. I'd let you get that raise. I want to get that next level. I screw up. And I go, oh, shoot, I screwed up. I can't get there. I don't deserve it. I go, you are manifesting the program. Your life has to be coherent with the program. If you have a positive program, your life is coherent. If you have a negative program, it's coherent. And the significance is then, well, how do I make that kid? How do you take your two beautiful kids and make them superstars? Tell them they're superstars. Every day. Every day. You're beautiful. You're smart. You can do anything. Why? Download. Subconscious. Every day. I can do anything. I can become anything.
Now, is there a downside to speaking those things to them? Is there like, if they don't back it with hard work, or if they're not willing to learn new skills?
They will learn it if you're living it, because they're copying you.
You're modeling it.
You're the model. A famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you grew up in a rich family, you were modeling how to become rich by watching how this family operates. If you come from a poor family, you were being programmed as life's hard, a lot likely to happen, working and struggling, that's the way it is. I go, and that's why the book acknowledges, if you came from that rich family, don't worry, you got a good program. But if you came from a poor family, I'm sorry, your life is already a struggle.
Wow. So how does someone break the program if it's been negatively holding them back?
Oh, you got a $1 million answer. Oh.
Look, we've all been programmed one way or another.
Yeah.
Some have programs that are empowering and supportive for their self-image and self-belief.
Most of us don't.
But 80% have programs that are limiting.
Critical. If you're critical of yourself, you'll look at yourself, no, I'm not worthy of you. I don't deserve you. And you will then, your behavior has to be coherent with the program. If it's a negative program, then you will manifest negative behavior. It's not a choice. It's just a manifestation. That's the way it works.
So how do we break that program and unlock?
Okay. We'll come back in chapter 2.
Because it sounds like for 40-ish years you had this program.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden you learned how to live in a honeymoon program.
Yes.
Where every day was a beautiful adventure. Yeah. Every day had magic and awe and wonder.
Every day. I love my
possibilities life. And endless things came to you that you desired. So how did you shift that?
First of all, you have to know you have a program.
Yeah. So it's the awareness first.
You have to have your awareness. I said, well, how do you know what your programs are? I said, well, you were being programmed officially 3 months before you were born.
Wow.
Why? Your mother is living in the world. That the program comes from the blood, the growth medium. Well, the blood has nutrition. Yeah, that's for growing. But the blood has emotional chemicals, stress chemicals, all these different factors from the brain. So the blood has nutrition and information. If the mother is struggling, then her blood chemistry will have stress hormones and things like that. Well, then what? I said, but that blood goes into the placenta, into the womb, and that blood becomes a growth medium for the cells of the fetus.
Uh-huh.
So if she's under stress, the growing fetus is under stress. Why? The same hormones that's stressing her come into the fetus. The fetus doesn't know why, but it knows what stress is all about because the chemistry affects the fetus. So we start getting programmed in, okay? The issue then becomes, how do I get the program? Well, between the 3 months before birth and to age 7, your brain is in a state of theta, hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember in the old days, hypnotherapists, they would have a watch on a pendulum and they swing it back and forth and they would say, you're getting sleepy, you're getting tired. I said, what were they? Bringing the vibration of the brain toward sleep. Why? Because when consciousness is going down low, theta is coming up. So I can hypnotize you if you're on the edge of not even being awake. Okay, today, first thing we said, how do you know what the problem is? I said, simple. Look at your life right now. I said, what? The things you like that come into your life, they come in because you have a program to acknowledge. Mm-hmm. But the things you work hard, stress over, I'm sweating. I'm working hard. I'm working hard. Why are you working so hard? And the answer is, wherever that destination is, the program in that subconscious mind doesn't support it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to override the program. I go, it's not going to work. You can't do it that way.
So how do we do it?
Okay, so now we're going back to how did you get the program? You were in theta. I said, well, guess what? While you're watching the show, hopefully you're in beta, high focus, and after the show, you get a glass of wine, silly smoke or whatever, and you relax, and your vibration comes down to alpha. And then the moment you fall asleep, alpha vibration stops, but theta is predominant. Theta is hypnosis. So I said, then what? Put earbuds in, earphones. At the moment you're ready to go to bed, you put a program on of something you want to be true in your life. Self-help program. You can buy them, okay? I say, then what? Every night you go to bed, you put the earbuds, and as you're sleeping, the program is playing into the mind via theta, and you're downloading while you're sleeping. I love it because what's your effort? Fall asleep. I know, okay, that's all I have to do. I say, yeah, fall asleep. You have to repeat it a lot because it's not a long period of time.
What, 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
I don't know how many, probably less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can get a solid hypnotic zone every night when you fall asleep. And you repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first time I used one of those was Louise Hay. And it was interesting because there was a part before the programming where she said, okay, relax, let your legs relax, let your arms, let your jaw, what was what? Relaxation. Why? Because the moment you fully relax, you were gone. So I always remember in the beginning, I heard the exercise and I heard some of the programming. The next time I played it, less of the programming. It was the relaxation exercise that became the habit. I lay down, start the relaxation, and before she finished, I was asleep.
Yeah.
And then the program played. So number one, self-hypnosis. And you have to pick the program. And as I said, wherever your struggle is, why are you struggling? Because you're trying to override a program that doesn't support where you want to go.
And you can't override it. You can't force.
No.
You have
It's a hard drive.
Yeah.
I have a computer. I open it up. I put it in program. I play it and say, oh, change the program. Oh, come on, computer, change the program. I say, how much talking to that computer before the program changes? I go, subconscious program. There's nobody in there. So if you I give myself a good talking to. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to subconscious. I go, there's nobody in there. It's a hard drive.
So you have to feed it a new program.
What's that?
You have to download it.
You have to put a new program. You can't talk it out of an old program.
Interesting.
Okay.
So if you have a belief, which is a program,
yes,
and you try to talk to yourself and say, I'm going to overcome this old belief. Just speaking to try to overcome a belief or a program that you've had for decades, it's not going to work. Maybe it'll help you in a moment, try to do some step, but you're not going to.
Wait,
you're not coherent to that. Yeah.
Weight is program. Okay. Or if I'm overweight, I'm going on a diet. I say, if you work really, really hard, you can lose weight. The moment you stop working hard, the weight will come right back. Why? You didn't change the program. Okay. You worked hard, but you didn't change the program. And that's why weight loss becomes a matter of like, I went through, I had to eat this garbage, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it, but I'm losing weight. I go, great, stop doing that. And the next thing you know, whatever you lost will come back. Right? Because weight is a program.
If weight is a program, what is it? I think more than 50% of the population is obese or overweight at the moment. I think maybe it's more now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What is that program that causes people to gain so much weight and struggle losing the weight. And in this scenario, how could you reprogram or download a new program to show yourself that and believe that losing weight doesn't have to be so hard?
No, okay. Number one, why so many people having a problem? I said, stress. Eating food for most people is a drug. If I'm eating food, I'm not here. I'm enjoying, oh, that tastes so good. I look forward to this dessert. I'm living in the moment with this food. But the problem is you are numbing the program. And you're eating all this food so you don't have to hear or respond to the program. It's a drug. Food is a drug, okay? And the problem about it is it takes your mind off of the program. I've got a moment I'm eating food, the world's not bothering me. I'm enjoying this food. And I'll have to eat more because stress is more. Now I need to supersize me. And the idea about it is, well, weight is a program. I say, so what do you want to do? You want to change the program? I say, you want to change the given weight you've been living at, because that's like a thermostat. Subconscious says, that's our weight. We learned this, okay? I say, whatever weight. Let's say you're 180 and you want to be 140. I say, then what do? You change the program. My weight is 140. My weight is 140. While we're doing it, very important. You can't say, my weight will be 140. Right. I will get healthy. I want 140. I go, will, want. I said, why is that important? You're making a recording. Okay, so yeah, today I want to be 140. It's a recording. I said, next year, whole year. Let's say that recording. I want to be 140. It's like, oh, you're so wanted. You never said you were 140. You were saying a wish to be 140. That's not being 140. So it's funny because when you program fact, you have to program the program as if you have what you want now. Because the job of the mind is to make the program real. So I say I'm 140, I program it, and the mind goes, no, you're not, you're 180. You have, 140. The mind will shift and take you down to 140 to be coherent with the program.
Oh, but if you're saying a program, if you're 180 and you're trying to be 140, and you say, I am 140, isn't that incoherent? Wouldn't you not believe it because it's a lie essentially in the now?
Oh yeah, but so we didn't go to number 2. So we did number 1, self-hypnosis. Okay, which is, you can do it that way. Most programming that affects us personally is after age 7, where you're beginning to use your consciousness and living in this life, okay? And I say, because we talked about number 1 way, self-hypnosis, but now comes number 2, okay? And number 2 is repetition, habituation, something you repeat over and over again. You're making a habit out of it. So when you say, I am 140, I am 140, and you keep repeating that, you're not dealing with a conscious mind. The repetition is what changes a program, a habit. My habit now is 140. And when you get that habit established, the function of the mind, this is like if people are taking notes here. The function of the mind is to make coherence between your belief and your reality. If your belief is negative, the function of mind is to manifest negative. If your belief is positive, it will do positive. But you have to have a program. And after age 7, hypnosis, you can make new programs. So if you're an adult and you say, well, I can do self-hypnosis, I go, yeah, but you can also do repetition. The New Age one always struck me kind of humorous. Is you're not a happy person. You want to be a happy person? All day long, to yourself, I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. There's a point where you'll wake up one day, you won't even have to say it. Why? Now, by repetition, the mind will make sure when you wake up to be coherent I will be happy. I am happy.
What if someone watching or listening right now has never seen any of this work before? They're not in this space. Someone sent them this video or this audio, and they don't believe in any of this stuff. They're kind of skeptical. They live in a victim mindset. They're like, that just sounds like a bunch of nonsense. You know, the power of like positive thinking, or the power of
Power of
repetition,
positive thinking.
or just the power of like saying something that I'm not. You know, isn't that just sound like fake? If I said I'm happy, I'm wealthy, I am healthy, but I'm actually broke, unlovable, and fat. It's like, how do I believe these words that I'm saying that are so not true currently?
Positive thinking. And you go, come on, that doesn't work. I go, guess what? More than 50% of medical healings are all placebo.
I believe that.
And I say, and what is placebo? Well, Lewis, here's this pill that will guarantee to take care of that problem you had your whole life. It's a brand new pill. It's purple. It's still is going to work, okay. And you take the pill and you get better. And then you come back and find out it was a sugar pill. A sugar pill. Well, what heals you? Not sugar. Your belief in the pill. Positive thinking. Placebo is all positive thinking. An operation, it's not even real. It's called a sham. A fake operation will heal you as much as a real operation will.
Wow.
Okay? And so that's positive thinking. Now, what you left out, and hello, people, this is the part that becomes important. That is healing through positive thinking. What about negative thinking? I go, equally powerful, positive thinking, but in the opposite direction.
How much effect does negative thinking have on our life?
I think almost all the healthcare crisis is the result of a negative thinking. It manifests through stress. What's stress? It's not working the way I want it to work. I can't get there. That's negative thinking. I can't get there. And that is where the stress comes from. Stress is you have an idea of what you want. It's not working. That's stress. You know, and let me add this because we're talking about when I mentioned the red pill, falling in love, okay? I want to emphasize this because does it mean I have to fall in love with a person? I go, no. You can have a pet. That's a substitute. That works, okay? Or you can be a gardener, growing a garden. What does it do? It stops you from thinking. You're doing mechanical things. I'm digging in the dirt, I'm planting the seeds, and it's a meditation. A chef is a meditation. I'm going to create this magnificent meal. I need to add this, and I need to do this and that. And all of a sudden, guess what? You're not thinking. I say, well, what happens when you're not thinking? The conscious mind is not working. Now you're manifesting a great meal, a wonderful garden, whatever, okay? So the idea about that, I just wanted to take out that, I have to fall in love with somebody. No, you have to do something you love.
Fall in love with life.
Fall in love with that, yeah. Because that means then your attention is drawn to that, and the outside world is not coming in. That's basically it.
So you were a medical school professor for a long time.
Yeah.
But you also study the science of spirituality and quantum physics.
Yeah.
So what is the science of spirituality and how does it tie in with quantum physics?
Oh, I love this. Thank you very much, because the evolution we're facing requires people to understand spirituality is a science. There's a very important reason. Okay, so first of all, spirituality, give me an idea about it. Say, number one, I cannot put my heart, lung, kidney into your body, Lewis. Why? Because if I put my cells into your body, your immune system will say, not self. And the immune system's job will destroy it. If you put your cells into somebody else's body, their immune system will say, not self. Now we're getting to a point here. What is it? We have a self that is distinguished from everybody else. No two people in the entire world have the same self. Well, how do you know where is it? I go, the immune system can see it. I go, so what? The immune system sees physical things, viruses, bacteria, parasites, somebody else's cells. It sees something physical. Now we know what it is. I said, what is it? On the surface of your cells, except for the red blood cells. Red blood cells don't have these identity markers. That's why transfusion red blood cells just cell type A, B, O, okay?
As long as they match
As long as they match the blood type, there's no identity to the cells.
It's interesting.
Okay? The cells with the nucleus are the cells that have on the surface a bunch of receptors. They're on the surface, on the skin of the cell. I go, parallel. We are a cell incarnate. What? Receptors, eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch, they're all part of our skin. On the cell's skin, there are a set of proteins, receptors. Receptor means receiver. No two people in the whole world have the same set of self-receptors. That's what they call self-receptors. I go, what about them? Well, they were mislabeled originally. Meaning they said, oh, the physical receptor is making me different than you, okay? It's not the physical receptor. It's what the receptor is reading, the information. I say, well, where's the information coming from? I go, these receptors are on the surface. So they give you identity. I say, then where's the signal of identity? Out here? It's not here. It comes into here. Now, interesting, a scientist, astronaut, Brian O'Leary, did a wonderful study. He put cells of his body in a test tube, moved them 350 miles away from him. So he's here, his cells 350 miles away. They put a recording device to record the electrical activity of the cells. Now there's a split-screen television. Half of it, Brian O'Leary live. The other half, live readout from the test tube. When Brian had an emotional response, instantaneously, instantly, not even a lag period.
No way.
The cells 350 miles got activated.
That's crazy.
Well, because here comes the cool part. The information that is picked up by cell receptors comes from the environment. This is where quantum physics comes in. A quote, I love this quote, Albert Einstein. We talk about energy, fields, the field. We're in a field right now. Cell phone broadcast, television broadcast, radio broadcast, solar energy. We're in an energy field. Definition of field: invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. Spirit: invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. Quantum science has recognized that these receptors are picking up a field, and that you are picking up an energy field broadcast, different than anybody else in the entire world. You have your own broadcast station. Okay? Now the analogy. The body is a television set. The program is picked up from the broadcast and downloaded via these receptors. The point that is so cool is you're watching your TV and it breaks. TV's dead. It's not working. TV's dead. Did the broadcast die? No. It's up here. It's in the field. It's everywhere. And the point about it is, so your television's gone, you're dead. But your identity was the spirit field. Okay? Now comes the cool part. Well, now you're dead, you have no body, you're in an energy field, but an infant in the future has the same antennas as you. You're back. New TV. Does it make a difference, male or female? That's the TV. You are the broadcast. You are not the TV. Does it make a difference to white, brown, black, red, yellow? No, that's the TV. You are the broadcast. When people start to recognize we all come from the same field, we all are coming from the same energy field, quantum physics, which acknowledges spirit as an energy field unique to each one of us. You cannot die. You're not in here. Okay? Now,
Where are you?
where's the broadcast? The television show is playing right now. I can't see it. Why? I need the TV. Okay?
So we're the TV.
We're the
And
body.
we're receiving a signal, we're receiving a broadcast.
Absolutely.
We're projecting the broadcast.
We're the program is manifesting. The Bruce Show, right now, live.
Yeah.
Okay? Profoundly important. You know that distance thing I mentioned with move yourself?
Uh-huh.
Here's an interesting fact. There was a scientific study on liver regeneration, and they were doing histology. And they found that a number of women in their regenerated liver had Y chromosomes. Well, wait, Y chromosomes are male chromosomes. Where the hell does this woman get Y chromosomes in cells to regenerate? They all had male babies. Here's what they found out. Stem cells from the baby cross through in the blood to the mother.
Interesting.
So the mother is like the test tube we talked about with Brian O'Leary. She's got her own baby's stem cells in her body.
Is that why you hear mothers say they can feel their kids across the world that something is off, or they might be going through something, this feeling, this sense, and then they call them and they're like, yes, something was going on.
Exactly what it is.
That's fascinating.
Because there's a test tube with the energy of the child's cells are playing. A mother is never disconnected from her offspring.
Wow. Well, maybe if she turned off the program or found a way to...
Or just not listen.
Yeah. Wasn't being
not
present.
listen.
Yeah.
And I learned to listen myself. Because I was starting to realize that sometimes my mind would like talk to me, you know? One of the most amazing, like the wake-up one, the one that was the wake-up call. I was in the lab doing an experiment, and to set up the experiment, it's like an hour and a half or more to set it up. And then I have to stir the solution, and if it gets warm, it polymerizes into plastic and it doesn't work. The third time in the day, a whole day, make all that time to put the solution in, start to stir it, turns into plastic. The third time, the whole day was shot. And I was so angry. And it was sort of like there was, the devil and angel. And the devil on my shoulders going, you stupid idiot, you can't do anything. You can't, it was like giving me so much aggravation of myself. I'm giving myself not good enough. Not deserving, blah, blah, blah. And I hear a voice. I'm alone. There's nobody in the room. It's like right here. And the voice said, don't you have anything better to do than to listen to this crap? And I was like in shock. I heard this voice say that. And so I said, yeah, I could go to a movie. And there was a newspaper. I picked up that newspaper, saw the movie, got my car, boom, went to the movie, came out of the movie, no more problem. I stopped the thinking. I stopped it by doing something totally different. And that was a wake-up call. That's a couple of things. Number one, if it's bothering you, go do something that doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
Because if it bothers you, it's like going on and on and on. It will bring you down.
Yes.
Something negative. Your kids is this, your parents is that, your friends is this. Boom, boom, boom. And I said, do something different. Step outside.
That's it.
And I started to realize in the past when I've heard that voice, but never made a response to it, like, oh yeah, I should do this. And I didn't do it. It always cost me. I woke up. When I hear that voice now, wherever it says, man, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Quantum physics says that we're energetically connected, right?
Yes.
What does that mean practically for how someone should think about their relationships with anyone else in their life, especially their loved ones and also their enemies?
Well, we go back to the Einstein quote. The field is the sole governing agency of matter, whether it's your neighbor, your son, whatever, matter, field. And I said, yeah, I can read your brain activity wires on the head electroencephalograph. But another device to read your mind is called magnetoencephalograph. And the probe is out here.
You can read someone's mind?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you're with a relationship with somebody for a long period of time, you can download it yourself.
Yes.
You begin to know what that person is thinking before they even finish the sentence.
Because you've been following the repetition of their program.
You've heard the program, but now you start to recognize it.
Patterns.
Pattern, okay? So the point about it is this. Your thoughts are not contained in your head. Your thoughts are a field. Yeah, but the field is broadcast. I say, so what? The field is the sole governing agency of matter. If you have negative things being broadcast, it's not going to activate anything positive. It's called resonance. It will activate something with the same energy. A positive thought will activate a positive response. A negative thought only resonates with a negative response. And we're getting down to something like, and people don't want to hear this in general because they don't understand. We are personally responsible for everything in our lives.
People don't like to hear that.
They don't want to hear that because they look at their life. I wouldn't have done that. I said, no, if you knew you were playing a program, you wouldn't play that program.
How can someone say, if they hear you say you're personally responsible for everything in your life?
Yeah.
As someone in their 20s or 30s or 40s and 50s says, well, I grew up in a place that I didn't want to grow up in. I was given parents that I didn't want to have. I had these circumstances and environments and challenges that I faced that other people didn't have to go through. I've got traumas that were not my fault because they were done to me. I didn't create these. So how can you say all of that when I feel like I was given the worst of life rather than the best that others have?
Yeah, but you were the one that have the program. Now, this is why the old psychology, and that gets us to number 3. We talked about self-hypnosis.
Yeah, repetition,
habituation. And number 3, there's a saying very familiar, necessity is the mother of invention. And guess what? As we're facing a collapse of civilization, there's a necessity to change our belief system fast. Well, there's a thing called energy psychology. It's a different version of psychology. It doesn't go back in your history. Oh, your friend did this and your mom did that, and we got the bad programming from the family. I say, going backwards. I say, why is that not relevant? Because they're not here. You carried a program from the past. So dealing with people in the past just reactivates the program. The hell with the past. It's irrelevant. It's the present. As we said, where is your stress? Where is that program? Do I need to go backwards? No, you have the program. That's why you're dealing with it. Energy psychology engages something called super learning. Super learning? Yeah. A child under 7 is a super learner. We go, why? They can have one experience of something, and for the rest of their life, it would be a mark in their program. Okay, just one experience. I say, so where is super learning? Why? There's a mechanism. If you look at a human brain, there's a line right down the middle of the brain. They're called hemispheres, left and right. The 2 hemispheres have different functions. The left hemisphere, many different functions, but the left hemisphere, intellectual. Words come from this, okay? The right hemisphere, emotion, pictures, words, pictures, okay? Awareness, feelings, okay? When a child's 7 and under, like your kids, those 2 are plugged in so that every experience your child has is recorded as a life intellectual experience and simultaneously as an emotional expression. Okay? After age 7, they're physically connected, but not functionally connected. There's a separation. Okay, what does that mean? I say, it's called ultra-radiant frequency. For 2 or 3 hours, you're in the intellectual side. And then 2 hours later, you're in the emotional side. It's a wave. Intellectual, emotional. Intellectual, emotional. The point is this, you're not in both of them anymore. You're a separate one. And it's problematic. I always like to joke. I say, a couple has a fight. And just for the fun of it, I say, at this moment, the man is in the intellectual side. The woman is in the emotional side. I say, so what? During that argument, the man's going, blah, 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 blah. And the woman's going, oh, 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 oh. Wow, she has some words. She has emotions. She's feeling it. He's hitting her. 2 or 3 hours later, he's going, oh man, I messed up. Oh my God, I feel it, Mom. I feel, oh my God, oh what I do. And she's got the words. And she comes in and cuts him up. The reality is this. You want to get to super learning, you have to integrate the two hemispheres. I can give you an insight. This is just an insight. It's not the whole process. My right hand is controlled by my left hemisphere. The left hand by right hemisphere. So I'm moving my right hand where? Out here, okay? And my left hemisphere is in charge. But if I move my hand into the other side of my body, now it's in the left hemisphere.
Really?
Yeah. I say, then what? Well, it gets picked up on the other side. So now both sides, the right is controlling. Okay, let me assume the left is controlling the right hand. But when it crosses into this side, the other half of the brain picks it up. And so when you cross your limbs, let's say your ankles, when you cross your ankles, you are crossing the midline.
Interesting.
It's calming. Guess what? Now that I said it, when you're hanging out with people, watch. Most of the people will have their ankles crossed. Why? When you bring the two hemispheres together, it's very calming. And that's why when you're relaxing, your ankles get crossed. Okay? I go, okay.
Why don't we do this also then, you know?
Yeah, so you cross your ankles and arms. You can put them out like that, cross them, go like that, and then go like this and put them on your chest.
Yeah.
And have your ankles crossed. Now, what I left out of my little stories is, number one, do I put my right ankle over my left ankle, or vice versa? Or do I put my right arm over my left arm, or vice versa? It's dependent on what program you're trying to change based on the history of experiencing that program.
Yeah.
Which hemisphere is more dominant, okay?
Yeah,
so
interesting.
You get into this posture after you've tested which one is which, and here's how simple it is. I'm simplifying, okay?
Yes.
First of all, you tested the belief. Now comes an issue, because how do I test the subconscious? There's nobody in there. I can't ask, hey, subconscious, what do you think about this? Right. There's nobody going to make a response. Here is this very important point. The subconscious is massive compared to the conscious. The subconscious is 1 million times more powerful a computer than the conscious. The subconscious controls muscles because it's that powerful. The amount of just moving my fingers, that's a lot of computation neurologically, okay? Conscious mind can't do that. So the subconscious controls muscles, okay? Now here comes the point. Conscious mind is creative. Subconscious mind got programmed. If I make a statement with my conscious mind, my subconscious mind immediately checks to see if that's true. If I say, my name is Bruce, subconscious mind, yeah, both minds are in harmony. When both minds are in harmony, my muscle is solid like a rock. Muscle test. pushed down. If both minds are in harmony, you won't be able to push it down. I want people to understand this because a lot of men do this and they think it's muscle arm wrestling. They're trying to lift it. I hear, no, the point is not to let it go down, not to lift it. That's arm wrestling. If I say something in my conscious mind that my subconscious agrees, that muscle is solid, okay? But if I make a statement, my name is Mary, and my subconscious goes, that's not true. Now the two minds are not in harmony. When the subconscious is not in harmony, the power of muscle control is lost. So I make a statement. If it's true, my arm's going to be solid. If I make a statement, I have two heads. That arm is going to fall. And so basically, the first thing you want to do is, what program am I checking? I love myself. I do the whole set. There's more to it than that, but the test. I finally get the test. I love myself. If my arm drops, it says your subconscious does not agree with that. Now I have to change it. So what am I going to do? I want to install a program. So how do I do that? Cross my limbs. Why? Integrate right and left hemispheres, just like I was a kid. Okay? And I sit there and I say to myself, I love myself. You're going to get a feeling the first time you say it. I say, why? Because your body, if it doesn't agree, it's going to be static-like. It's not, or it may even talk back, oh yeah, sure, right? You'll feel the body is not happy with, I love myself. I say, what do you do then? I just say, repeat it again to yourself, I love myself. Go for the feeling. Go ahead, then, I love myself. Go for the feeling. There'll be a point where the feeling will absolutely change. It'll be completely different. Rather than staticky, in my particular case, and it's different for each person, when I get to that point, my subconscious is going, okay, so what else? Okay, I'm bored. Why? Because every time you say, I love myself in this posture, you're rewriting a program. I say, well, how long does that take? I say, how many experiences did you have that made that program? The more life experience that repeated that program, the longer it takes to get that program to reprogram.
Wow.
I say, well, how long can it take? I say, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I say, you've had a belief your entire life, 50 years old. How long will it change? I love myself, I love myself. 3 minutes. And guess what? You walk away. It's done. Do you have to do it again? No. How fast does it take? I love this. How fast I made this change in a belief. Let's start with this one, very simple. I'm afraid of spiders. So I go, I like spiders. I like spiders. I like spiders. Then we test. Because the first time I said I like spiders, my beliefs, nope, don't believe that. How do I know did it change? Put my arm back out and go, I like spiders. If it changed, you won't move the arm. It's not the conscious mind. Conscious mind has no control over this. You can hold keep it strong, keep it strong. It's going to drop just as fast. Why? Conscious mind does not control muscle. If the muscle thing changed, it means that the subconscious changed. Okay? So I say, okay, I like spiders, I do that, repeat, finally gets to a point my subconscious goes, oh, okay. And test, yeah, I like spiders, strong. Bring a spider into me right at that moment.
When I have that belief.
Instantaneously, you will not be afraid of that spider.
Wow, interesting.
But if it's I love myself or I want a better job, I'm making the money I want, okay? Well, you can't get that instantly. You have to go out and live.
Yeah.
So most of those things, if it's a phobia, you can put the stimulus right there.
Wow.
And how fast will it change? As soon as you felt that change and you tested,
it's done.
It's done.
You've written that there's 4 cultural myths that keep us trapped in self-destruction in this loop. What are these myths and how do you think we can stop letting them run our lives?
Okay. 4 cultural myths. 2 of them are Darwinian theory. Okay, I'll tell you what. Darwinian theory is the belief that your heredity controls the character of your life. That's a myth. It's not true. Your mind controls it. But if you believe you're a victim, what is the nature? We said that before. What's the function of the mind? Make coherence between the belief. If I feel I'm a victim of cancer because it's running in my family, I will manifest cancer. Why? The function of the mind was to say, oh, you believe in cancer? Here, you can have it. Just to dispel that gene story, they study what happens when infants are adopted into families where there's cancer running in the family. The adopted child will get the same family cancer.
Really?
Yes. And the adopted child, totally different genetics. What was the whole idea? Cancer was a program of dysfunction that manifests, not genetics, okay? So the belief of victim is the biggest issue that we have at some level because it says I'm powerless. Most people say I'm powerless. I want to be successful. Everything's not working. The world looks like crap. It's all falling apart. Oh, it's not what I want. I go, well, that's because you believe the program. Okay? So I go, that's number one.
That I'm a victim.
That I'm a victim.
Okay.
Number 2, Darwinian theory. Biggest problem on the planet. Survival of the fittest in the struggle for life. Survival of the fittest struggle. Well, first of all, struggle for life is a falsehood. It's not scientific. It was an idea from a philosopher in the 1700s who came up with an idea that everybody said, oh, that's true. Life is a struggle. He came up with the idea that plants don't reproduce as fast as animals. I said, so what's the point? Plants are reproducing at a slow rate. Animals are producing at a fast rate. Point? Too many animals, not enough food. Struggle for life. Thomas Malthus, philosopher, built into Darwinian theory. Completely wrong. Animals and plants reach a balance, and it doesn't get out of balance. So the whole idea of struggle is out. But then it was survival of the fittest. And this is important right now. I go, why? The word fit means capable of surviving. But no, it didn't say survival of the fit. It said survival of the fittest. What does that mean? Oh, well, let's look at the population of fit people. These are just fit. These are more fit. These are fitter.
These are the fit.
And these are the fittest. It came from Darwinian's Victorian upbringing and philosophy. The upper class, the fittest, okay? Which meant the upper class count and nobody else counts. If you're fit, you're lower class, it doesn't make any difference. You came from upper class, you're automatically the fittest by birth. You were born into the fittest, okay? Victorian days, no longer, but guess what? That survival of the fittest has led to today's biggest problem. 1%, it's actually far less than 1% of the population owns more than 99% of the population. I go, imagine the resources as a pie, and 1% takes more than half of that pie out. I say, yeah, but what's left of the pie? I say, less than half. I say, yeah, but how many people are looking for it? 99% of the people. I go, stress, competition, survival of the fittest.
So those are the first 2. What would be 3 and 4?
Number 3, if I remember correctly, is the loss of understanding spirituality. You don't know who you are. You are, and I'm going to say this with full meaning, a piece of God. You've been programmed to believe that if you have a good life and you die, you can go to heaven. This body is a gift. It's an accessory to your spirit. It can do things. If you have a manifestation wish, it takes a body to manifest that wish. So we came here to have a body, to create, make things, do things, okay? So we have a body for that. People don't recognize this is an accessory to spirit in that sense, okay? And spirit in a body also has something that a body offers that you don't know what's going on. I say, sensation. What does love feel like? What does anger feel like? What does jealousy feel like? It's a manifestation of the cells informing the brain, and the brain, remember, broadcasting, and the thoughts of that individual are broadcast back to the source, the broadcast. And your life experiences alter the source. It's called karma. Meaning, if you're out of harmony because your life was out of harmony, your broadcast is now out of harmony. The next time you come back into a TV, you come back in out of harmony. But the mission is what? Get back to harmony.
Yeah.
And so how many times does it take, But the point is, how long does it take to change karma? I said, once you know the mechanism, the program can change.
Yeah.
The program changes, karma's done. And we have that option, except you're not hearing about the program. You're not being told about it. It's known by a few, but it's not in their interest for you to know about it, because then you won't be a customer. You won't buy that medication.
Sure.
Okay? And you won't accept war. I love it. The last slide of my lecture, I show a cell with antennas. I say these are the self-receptors. And I say the source is the field, but you can call the field spirit because it's same definition. I say the source is coming to all of us. But then I show 3 cells side by side. A Muslim cell, a Jewish cell, a Christian cell. I say, what is that? I say, program. I say, what is it? Program of separation. Program fight. This one fights this one, that one fights this one fights. I say, we all came from the same source. And that these programs are the divisive element, the awareness of division. It started with religion. Almost all the wars until recent times are religious. And to me, the surprising one is Ireland. I go, why? Catholics and Protestants have the same God with the same story of love and forgiveness, and they're killing each other. I go, 2 of the Jesus religions are killing each other. Maybe they lost the message somewhere. But religion separated them. And I say, I'm not a religious person, Louis. I am a spiritual person. What does that mean? I know I'm connected to a field. And then this is where the God part comes in. I personally create my life. I'm a personal creator of this life. You are creating your life. But if all of us share the same belief, the same program, then collectively we are manifesting what we experience on this planet. Now the last one, the fourth one, did you write it down?
I didn't write it down. I was probably in this book.
Yeah, this book is, we'll have that in there.
Something in the book, Beyond Darwin, How Epigenetics, Quantum Science, and Cooperation Shape Humanity's Future.
Yeah.
I'll make sure people get this because it's got so much good information in here.
It's a scientific, it's a part 1, part 2. Part 1 is a scientific theory. I call it the antidote to Darwin. It's just the opposite of Darwin. It's based on cooperation, love, spirituality. And part 2 is ways of living in harmony to support the new theory, which has to do with diet and consciousness and behavior and those other aspects, to say, listen, we have to change the way we're living, and this is information about that. So it's part one is the theory, and part two is how can I live into this theory while the other one is coming down?
Yes. Got a couple final questions for you, but this has been powerful, so I'm grateful, Bruce.
Hey, Louis.
Yes.
Thank you for this invitation.
Yeah, thank you for being
And
here.
I want to thank you because you have a wonderful audience. And
Yes.
they're the people that I would call cultural creatives. Why? They're looking outside the box.
Yes.
And you are the teacher offering them through your podcast an opportunity to see something outside that box.
Yes.
And so to me, one of the most important jobs in evolution is what you are doing right now. Knowledge is power, and you are empowering all these wonderful people.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I look at myself as like a facilitator, facilitating information.
Right.
And
facilitating knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And knowledge is power.
It is. I love this conversation around quantum physics. And you say that quantum physics proves that the material world is an illusion, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So quantum physics proves the material world is an illusion. What should someone do differently with their life with that information?
If it's an illusion, that is a conscious experience. Okay, that's a conscious interpretation of what an illusion. Magic is an illusion. Okay, if you don't understand how the magician created the illusion, then for you it's always like, wow, it's magic. Okay, but underneath that, there was a process. And if you understand the process, well, it may take the magic out of the picture, but it also says, there's a way to make it work. And what we have to do is recognize the illusion of a world that we perceive to be out of control, when in fact we are the actual participants in manifesting an out of control world until we know the magic behind it. And then all of a sudden it says, well, I can create magic. I can change the illusion. And this is what we are really about to learn. Get out of this magic of self-destruction. It's magic, it's not real, but we're manifesting it.
Right. What is the number one belief that most people carry with them that is silently killing or suppressing their immune system? And what is the biological mechanism behind that?
Good question. Thank you. Stress is what I've been talking about. And I say, well, what's stress? And I say this. You can divide behavior into two AB, growth and protection. You cannot do both at the same time. I say, why? Growth, you go to the stimulus, your arms open, take it in. Food, love, awareness, give it to me.
Imagination, creativity.
You have to be open, okay? Protection is close yourself down, wall yourself off. Protect me from that threat. And you don't go to a stimulus, you go away. So I say, growth, go to a stimulus open. Protection, close yourself down, go away from a stimulus. Complete opposite. And you can't do both at the same time. So the point is, stress hormones give us the warning that we're under threat. That's what stress, threat. Well, I have to protect myself. So the stress hormones get the body prepared for protection. I say, how? So we go back 100,000 years, and I say, so what was your stress? That saber-toothed tiger chasing me. I say, well, how are you going to protect yourself? Well, the stress hormones are going to kick in. I said, what are they going to do? And here's the 3 things where stress destroys us. Number 1, I want to run like hell from that tiger. So I want my blood in my arms and legs. I say, why? The blood carries energy. You want to run? You better have the energy in your blood because that's where it's coming from. So I say, and this is like out of a textbook, when stress hormones are released into the body, the blood is preferentially sent to the arms and legs. Where was it before? The gut. I said, what's the function of gut? Maintenance of the body, repair the body, energize the body. It's all taking care of the machine. But at the moment the tiger is coming,
The legs.
I need the legs to run. So stress hormones cause the blood vessels in the gut to squeeze shut. You can feel it. It's called queasy. I feel, I'm feeling scared. I feel queasy.
Yeah.
Or butterflies in the stomach. I say, what's that? The fluttering of the blood vessels as they're shutting down. You can feel it, okay? So first thing is this. You set off growth and maintenance for the body. Number 1. Number 2, the immune system uses a tremendous amount of energy. And I say, well, look, if you've ever been sick, you may not even have the energy to get out of the bed. So the immune system uses a lot of energy. Now let's scenario. I'm being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. I have a bacterial infection. Well, my immune system is going to take care of the bacterial infection, but my arms and legs are going to get me away. So I say, what do you think the stress hormones do? They shut off the immune system. Why? The hell with the bacteria. If the tiger catches you, it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Okay? This is why, like kids at school, when they get stressed at exam time, that's when they get sick.
When they get stressed at what time?
Exams. Like, oh my God, exams are coming. Oh my God, you're
sick.
They get sick. When your job is too stressful, you get sick. Why? Stress hormones are getting ready for you to run. That was the point.
Yeah.
I need your blood. That's a fix those things. I got to run. So, 1, we shut down growth and maintenance of the body. 2, we shut off the immune system. Why? The threat is external. Immune system internal. I don't need it. And the last one, I call that the insult to the injury. I say, what is it? The conscious mind is a very creative mind, very beautiful. Subconscious mind habit. Creativity is a slower neurological process. Reaction, reactivity, instantly, okay? So let's say you're driving the car and it starts skidding out of control. Here's my vision of a person who stays in the conscious mind while it's out of control. Oh! I go, what happens? Stress hormones come in. What do? Squeeze blood vessels. Where? Forebrain. Why? Because the blood is now pushed to the hindbrain. And the hindbrain controls all the behavior instantly. So when you start skidding, all of a sudden you're steering, you're hitting the brakes, and you're controlling the car as fast as anything.
Wow.
Point, when you're in that stress, thinking is too slow. We become less intelligent. And that is today's world. The intelligence of the individual is lost because they're under stress and they're ready to run.
Yeah.
And I say, and the bottom line is this. When we thought the Russians were going to bomb us back in the Cold War, we built a bomb shelter. Here's the point. Conclusion is important. In those days, I remember they would have air raid tests. Sirens would go off. And then in school, we'd all go down and get in under the desk and blah, blah, blah. And then 10 minutes later, the sirens say, all clear. And we get up and go back to work. So the community is growing. The sirens go off. They go in the bomb shelter, 10 minutes. They come back out. Community's growing again. Problem. What if you get the sirens and you go in, but there is no all clear? problem. How long can you live in the bomb shelter? You only have a certain amount of food, a certain amount of water. And if you use all that up and you're still in the bomb shelter, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
The stresses we have today are not the same as that tiger. If you're running from the tiger, you can get away in 10 minutes of running.
Yeah.
You can get away. And then stress is gone. So it's an interference with your maintenance of the body, your immune system, your intelligence for 10 minutes, fine. After the tiger's gone, you're back to growing again.
Mm-hmm.
But today, and this is the conclusion of it, stress is 24, 7, 365 every day. A human body was never designed to be in the bomb shelter that long.
Right.
And the result is the illness, shutting off the maintenance. There's a problem.
Yes.
Shutting off the immune system. There's a problem.
Yes.
And shutting off the intelligence is why that person will tell me what to do. I say, you gave up your power to that person? Do you trust them? This is where we are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, beyond Darwin, how epigenetics, quantum science, and cooperation shape humanity's future. I want to make sure everyone get this book by Bruce Lipton. A lot of great science and research in here you guys can check out.
I tried to make it, of course, very readable.
Yes, yes. I
Like
like that you have a lot of pictures also for me.
Pictures, 1,000 words.
It shows you a lot. So for me, it's very, very helpful. And I love the explanation of the field and how to understand all these things. So sometimes these things can feel like big concepts or hard to understand. So when you break them down in simple ways and show images in there and kind of backing the science, it's really helpful. So I want to make sure everyone gets the book.
I so appreciate that because my wish is people will take their power back.
Yes.
They don't even know they don't have the power.
Yes.
They know it's not working.
Right.
But they've confused it. And when you tell them you're a very powerful creator, they go, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
I wouldn't have created this mess. I go, you didn't. Your program created this mess.
Mm-hmm. It's time to create a new program.
Yes.
I want to ask you two final questions. I asked you this the first time we did an interview, which I think was like 5 years ago, but it was virtual. So I'm going to ask you here in person. This is called the 3 truths. So hypothetical scenario.
Yeah.
You get to live as long as you want, and you get to continue to create and impact as many people as you want. But at the last day, you got to take all of your books and content and work with you. So hypothetically, we don't have any more of your content after you pass on your last day.
Who doesn't have it? Me or them?
We don't have it. The rest of the world.
Well, the book is there.
It's a hypothetical scenario.
All the books disappear.
Yes, everything's gone. Let's just hypothetically. And so we don't have access to your content, hypothetical. But on your last day, you get to leave behind 3 truths to the world. Yes. Only 3 things that you know to be true from all your life experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
What would those 3 truths be for you?
Number 1, you are a powerful creator. That this is not an accident. Okay? Number 2, you're immortal. You're a spirit that doesn't die. And you get a chance to come back and play again. And number 3 is take the time and watch the sunset. Take the time to smell the roses. Take the time and experience the beautiful garden, because if you're looking for heaven, it's here.
That's beautiful. Bruce, I want to acknowledge you for being a constant guide of inspiration, of knowledge, of wisdom to so many people, to unlearning programs that don't support them and learning new programs to live a more empowered life.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people are feeling stressed, stuck, and really not worthy. And you are a constant reminder of providing spirituality, wisdom, and science on how to create a new life for yourself. So I want to acknowledge you for that. People can learn more at brucelipton.com, or they can follow you on social media, Bruce Lipton everywhere. They can get your book as well. And my final question, Bruce, is what is your definition of greatness?
Greatness is living up to what you can be and helping others find that same place in themselves.
Bruce Lipton, thank you so much.
Louis, I'm thanking you very much.
Research says your nervous system can manufacture a pharmacy of chemicals that works 3 times better than any drug. You can do it so well that you can do it with your eyes open.
How? Dr. Joe Dispenza. He is a New York Times bestselling author, a researcher, and one of the most pioneering minds in the science of manifestation and human transformation.
I am in the